Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Silver Hawkins, and welcome to Elden Ring, late game. The intention of this video is just to try and show you guys the build that I've been using to run through the game up until this point. We are very late game. As you can see, we are level 153, so we've gotten a fair amount up there. And this is the build that I've been using to run through the game. Mainly a Templar build. Strength and Faith are the two main stats I've been leveling, as well as Mind a little bit, just to get us some stuff so that we can use skills, because we are a bit skill dependent. Just to show you the weapons I'm running, we are using, like, the big star of the show here for us is our Distinguished Great Shield, which has some of the best protection, all-around protection of any Great Shield. Like, the only one that's better is the Fingerprint Stone Shield, but that one is quite a bit heavier and has a strength requirement of 48. The Distinguished Great Shield has a strength requirement of 32, and is, like, quite a bit lighter. Like, not really a contest on that front, and you definitely, I mean, running medium load is something you definitely want to do, so that you can fall back on dodging if it comes to it. But we've leveled our Great Shield a fair amount to where we have a guard boost at 70, which means we lose very, very little stamina when we block. And we also infused it with the Ash of War Barricade Shield, which lets us gives us another boost to our guard boost, which basically gets us up to a 100, which means that we don't lose any stamina when we block, so long as this buff is active. So even boss attacks, we can just block them. Lose no stamina, lose no poise for the most part. Quite often, you can basically let them burn out their combos, then hit them with a guard counter. A couple of those tend to stagger them, then you hit them with a crit, which is why we're running the Lordsworn Straightsword, which has a crit rating of 110, so it does a fair amount of damage when we crit them. And that's what I've been using to run through the game since about level 40 or so. And I've had very good, a great deal of success with it. Haven't really had too much difficulty, a couple of spikes here and there, but for the most part it's been fairly easy. Up until this point, really, where we're at I'm stuck at a late game boss who's basically a complete counter to my build, because she heals whenever she hits. And she heals regardless of whether she hits the shield or she hits me, and damages me. So letting her run out her combos is not really much of an option. So I've had to sort of think outside of the box with her. But, I mean, regular enemies, even the tougher variety, aren't too much of an issue. Just gonna showcase it a bit with these guys, who are somewhat powerful. See, we're tanking the flames, not much of an issue. Got our crit. Yeah, turn the counter there. Got our crit again. And that's basically how you do it. You do need to be careful with the timings, because as you saw there, I mistimed the guard counter a couple of times, which let him get in a hit on a follow-up attack. So you do need to get a sense of where enemy combos end and when you can time your guard counter. So there is still a degree of, even if the shield does render you safe for the most part, there's still a skill component to using it. So yeah, combined with faith healing and whatnot, we are very, very difficult to kill. Like, this build really gives you a lot of defensive strength. I've also found it effective in PvP when playing co-op with a friend, where we get invaded constantly. I'm usually pretty good at cutting in between the invader and my friend. Because they can't really do much to touch me, because they can't really break through the shield. With the barricade shield running. And as for talismans, just to showcase what we're using the curved sword talisman, obviously, which enhances our guard counters. The Earth Tree's Favor, +1, raises our maximum hit points, our maximum stamina, and our equipment load, so that we stay within the medium load. Also running the Dragon Crest Great Shield Talisman, which boosts physical damage negation. And the Assassin Cerulean Dagger, which means that whenever we do a crit, we restore some mana. And that's because we use mana to buff our shield. So it's quite nice to get some mana back when we stagger the enemy, so that we can keep it running for as long as possible, that buff. Because that buff is our bread and butter. As for the sword, our Lordsworn's Straight Sword, we are running it with the Blessed quality, or Blessed Infusion rather. And as for the Ash of War on it, we're running a Blessed Blade, which gives us a pretty nice damage buff. Also makes staggers come faster. And that's basically what, like I said, what I've been using throughout the game. Stats you'll be wanting to go for this type of build is, honestly, Vigor isn't that important, because you don't really tend to get hit. Your shield tends to absorb a lot of the impact, so Endurance might actually be more important than Vigor, just for allowing you to keep your shield up, even if it isn't buffed. Strength, also important. But of course, Faith being the main star, Faith is the main scaling option on our sword. Or the main scaling focus on our sword, because of the Blessed Infusion. So it has a scaling of C, whereas both Strength and Dex are E scaled. But yeah, I mean, we've basically been slotting a little bit into everything, just to be able to use a variety of weapons and stuff, try out different stuff. I'm not that specialized, could definitely focus it a lot more. But yeah, that's what I look like at 153 so far. Very much enjoying the game. Some nips and quibbles here and there, but yeah, it's been a lot of fun. And this large reason why it's been so much fun has just been how much I've been enjoying this build. Like, feels really satisfying to see enemies just bounce their attacks off your shield. Also looks pretty good. Like, I'm liking this Templar look, so the look and feel of it. Let's just show you guys the armor as well. We're running the Great Helm, the Gelmir Knight armor. For much of the game, I did basically just run the starting Vagabond Knight armor, which is what I started with. The Knight Gauntlets and the Knight Greaves. And that's what we're running. Has been working great. Like, you get decent damage reduction for that. Weight's not too bad. We're still at medium, even though we're only at 26 endurance. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found the build interesting. I certainly invite you guys to try it out. The Great Shield is a really great and fun option in this game because of the guard counters. Like that, I'm really enjoying that aspect of the game, because, I mean, you can say that maybe it makes the game too easy, but there is still that skill component of, you can get, when you use it, you do leave yourself open to a possible hit. Of course, exception to that being spears, because if you run this with a spear, you do, let's see if we can't find a decent, like, Yeah, well, we have a couple of options here. Pike being the big one, because, I mean, look at this range. There. Allows us to keep our shield up, raised, while we still attack. With tremendous reach. Which will make the game even easier, if that is what you want. So you can definitely go for that. But personally, I've just been enjoying going with the sword, even if it is trickier. Yeah, we have quite a few of these picked up. We need to sell a bunch of them, I think. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you found it interesting. And until next time, please take care.